The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Welcome to the Jesse Blake Sports Report. Whether this is your first time here or your last time here or somewhere in between, I appreciate that you're here today so that we can discuss the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Kyrou. So bear with me. I want to tell the whole story before we get to the main piece of the story, which is Jordan Kyrou post-game getting very emotional talking to the media. But before we get to all of that, I want to tell the whole story. So sit down, enjoy, get comfy. Let's start from the beginning. On Tuesday, the St. Louis Blues and Doug Armstrong specifically, their general manager, fired their head coach, Craig Berube. Now, the St. Louis Blues are not very good this year. They're actually like in a decent spot in the standings if you look at it. I'm going to pull it up right here. It's not too tough of a position they are in terms of like chasing a playoff spot. As I'm reading this right now, with their win tonight over the Ottawa Senators, the St. Louis Blues sit in the second wildcard spot. So like they are in currently a playoff spot. But on Tuesday, when they fired their head coach, Craig Berube, they were on a 4-game losing streak, and their general manager, Doug Armstrong, said, "I haven't seen enough. I don't like the compete level out of this team." If you take a look at the stats of the St. Louis Blues, and I say they're not very good right now because of these things. They currently sit 23rd in goals for. They sit 23rd in goals against. They sit last in the league in power play percentage. They sit last. No, they don't sit last. They sit 20th. I was incorrect there. They sit 20th in the league in the penalty kill. I think they have more shorthanded goals given up than they do have power play goals going into the game tonight. I don't know if I haven't updated that stat, but they have not been good statistically, and they've not been good with their compete level. I don't think St. Louis Blues fans are happy with what they've seen. Nobody in the organization is happy with the compete level. Their head coach got fired. 4-game losing streak. That was it in Detroit. Ex-St. Louis Blues, Jake Wallman scored during that game. They didn't need David Perron out there, but Ryan Fabry also scored, and Ville Husso, also ex-Blue, got that win. So it was weird serendipity that night. All these ex-Blues caused their former head coach to get fired. That's what happens Tuesday. A lot of Blues fans coming out of that said that Craig Berube, the head coach that led this franchise to their first ever Stanley Cup in 2019, did not deserve to be fired. That is how a lot of Blues players looked at this, and they think currently, as I don't think their opinions have changed, that it's a lot of roster construction. That's the reason why these Blues currently are not very good, even though they sit second in the wild card in the standings right now. A lot of people are blaming the general manager in Doug Armstrong. So we have that. That comes out of Tuesday night. We get to Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, the media, they're talking to all the players. They're talking specifically to Jordan Kyrou. And the gentleman who got this quote out of Kyrou is Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic. Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic asked Jordan Kyrou about his new coach, Drew Bannister, the St. Louis Blues AHL coach who was promoted to head coach. Kyrou on Bannister taking over. This is from Jeremy Rutherford. "Hey, it kind of feels like a little bit of a fresh start kind of thing. Yeah, we're all excited here. We want to turn the ship around right now and get our culture back a little bit and get back to how we know how to play hockey." So first things first there, Kyrou being like over the moon that Bannister is now in the head coaching spot and saying it feels a little bit of a fresh start kind of thing. I think he's very happy to see Berube gone. And this next quote is what spearheaded this whole controversy that happened on Wednesday. Jeremy Rutherford continued. He asked Kyrou on his relationship with Craig Berube. Kyrou said, "I've got no comment. He's not my coach anymore." So there it is. That comment. I've got no comment. He's not my coach anymore. Leads to St. Louis Blues fans booing the hell out of Jordan Kyrou tonight in St. Louis. This is audio from the opening introductions they had in St. Louis when Kyrou came out. That's brutal. This is it's crazy that they did that tonight. I guess, like, you think about, okay, the fans going into that position, all they got is that quote. They believe that Berube didn't deserve to be fired. They're upset. They go and they boo their best player, their highest paid player in Jordan Kyrou. So that happens during the game. He's also booed while he's touching the puck. Like, while he has the puck, they're booing their own player as this team is winning. It doesn't just end with those introductions. I can't play you some of the boos that happened during the game because that's copyrighted footage, but it happened during the game as well. So now we get to the main event of the evening, the last match of WrestleMania, the championship belt moment of today. Jordan Kyrou post-game getting so emotional about the booing and just feeling it to the depths of his core. Listen to this.
What, if anything, would you want to say to the fans?
I mean, just, sorry if it sounded in a bad way at all. I mean, just like I said, I'm just really trying to focus on the future here and focus on what I can do to, help our team win and, help get wins for the boys. So,
how were you able to focus then tonight and you feel like you had it?
It's definitely the toughest game I've probably played, to be honest. But
any of your teammates or anybody from the organization talk to you about it?
Obviously my teammates have my back, right? So
you're getting pretty emotional here. Where are the emotions coming from?
It's just tough, right? Like, I love playing here, so it's tough to hear the fans booing me there. Sorry.
Jordan, they'll obviously come around. They know you want to be here, play hard, and produce for them. Do you feel like, it's just a bump in the road that it can be overcome and they'll love you again?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I just want to focus on my future and focus on, trying to be a more complete player and, what I can do to help the team win, right? So, that's just my goal right now.
Teammates have anything to say to you, too, just to back you up and give you some positive reinforcement, I guess?
Yeah, I thought we had a great game as a team today, right? So, we played well. We're playing fast, aggressive, and we all had each other's backs today. So,
Jordan, that moment after the Buchnevich goal looked like Buchnevich pointed at you. Rob looked like he was pretty happy for you. What's that moment mean?
It's just a big game for us. It was a big goal for us there. So, I'm just glad I could help contribute there.
And you can hear there, if you were just listening to that and not watching the video, he tears up. He tears up in that middle portion there towards the beginning of where that clip started. And it's gotta be even. Like, if anything, it's gotta be an imperfect balance right now between Blues fans and Jordan Kyrou. I can't really tell you how to feel. I'm not in the business of telling fans how to feel. Fans are fanatics. That is what the word is. They are as emotional as the players. Sometimes they're usually more emotional than the players when it comes to being a fan of the team and the crest on the front of the jersey, because players move teams and fans stick around through thick and thin. So when Jordan Kyrou comes out and has that emotional response to getting booed by his home crowd, it's gotta be even between Blues fans and Kyrou here. That dude cares. His comments were taken the wrong way. Clearly, like, what he was trying to say about Berube and the no comment and him being happy with Berube being gone, because that's what it was. Like, pregame, Jeremy Rutherford's clearly, from those quotes, you can see that he was happy that he no longer had to have Berube as his coach. And whether you liked Berube or not, whether you thought that it was his fault, the team was off to a slow start, Kyrou's comments were not a shot at the organization or the fans or anything. They were simply about his one-to-one relationship with Berube, and he doesn't deserve to be booed in that regard. The comments are misconstrued to the point, like, people think he doesn't care about being a Blue, but you can see by the post-game comments that this guy wears his heart on his sleeve. He cares about the St. Louis Blues, and I hope St. Louis Blues fans see that. I hope the entire hockey world right now, if you're online and you see some of the reactions to the video, they're feeling for Kyrou because of, you don't see this out of NHL players, and you don't see somebody get this emotional that publicly. And I feel for him in the moment because he clearly did not think his comments were going to be taken in that way, else he wouldn't have done it. If Jordan Kyrou thought he was going to get booed tonight, he wouldn't have said what he said. It's not like he's standing by his comments. He's trying to walk it back as much as possible because the way it was taken by the fans isn't what was intended. And I think in this moment, to see how honest he was, to see how emotional he was, how incredibly sad he was, the way the fans took the comments, there needs to be some leeway for him, and there needs to be some forgiveness in that. If we were all like, oh, Jordan Kyrou taking shots at Berube, we all need to take a step back and realize that that was the incorrect reaction, and that Jordan Kyrou really cares about being a St. Louis Blue. At the end of the day, I think that's what the conclusion you come to with that video there. That's kind of it. That's the story I wanted to cover today. I don't know. He got me in my feels watching that video, and that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. One other thing I want to touch on quickly before I go here tonight is some NFL stuff. The Los Angeles Chargers got absolutely demolished tonight on Thursday Night Football, 63-21 by the Las Vegas Raiders, and Brandon Staley shouldn't have had a job by the time the fourth quarter rolled around. The dude, his whole thing was sticking by him calling the defense, and then the defense that he was so adamant about calling puts up gets 63 hung on their heads. And what an embarrassing tenure he's had as Los Angeles Charger head coach. And Justin Herbert's the guy who everybody says is going to be good one day and is never really good one day. But a lot of that falls onto Brandon Staley. It falls onto the receiving core that's put around Justin Herbert. And when he comes back healthy, like Easton Stick in there, he's an abomination. He's not a starting quarterback. But when Justin Herbert comes back into the league healthy next season, I hope he has a different head coach. I hope he has different weapons around him, because he deserves more than what he has surrounded by him right now in Los Angeles with these Chargers. They are an absolute abomination. Patrick Mahomes went off on Sunday after the Kadarius Toney was called with his foot over the line of scrimmage there. He lined up offside. Seeing Patrick Mahomes be a giant baby was not great for the Patrick Mahomes reputation, because people have been waiting. Like, that moment made me realize how much people have been waiting to dunk on Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's been boiling. Like, I don't think he has a lot of haters, and the haters finally found the thing that they can grab onto, and they came out of the woods like tenfold, just running, and it's time, let's go get him. So it was brutal of him to be that publicly upset about the call, and not upset at his teammate for lining up offside, but about the refs calling the actual rule book. For him to be that publicly upset, like, I commend him for being a competitor. I like to see my athletes that I cheer for super emotional, because I like to see that they care as much as I want them to care. So I've always loved that about Patrick Mahomes, in that he hates losing more than he likes winning. You know, that kind of attitude is the perfect attitude. But this was a bad attitude. Like, he took it too far, like going up to Josh Allen and making those comments so the mics will hear it. And it was all too far and too much. And I hope he realizes that he's never going to win like that. I love seeing the emotion, but Patrick Mahomes is too big now, and he has too many haters, and too many people hate the Kansas City Chiefs and everything about them, that he can never win. he's at the position where he can never win right now. Maybe it turned on Brady. Like there's a long time where the New England Patriots are the most hated franchise on planet Earth, and they are the Death Star, like nobody likes the Patriots, but it turned with Brady, and now Brady, at the end of his career, he became a baby face, and to use the old wrestling term that we've been throwing out on the Steve Dangle podcast a little bit this week, he turned into the guy that everybody rooted for, and people started to really like Brady by the end of it, and I think his Tampa years were really good for him. And Patrick Mahomes isn't at that stage. He's at the peak of his greatness where everybody hates him right now. He's not at the MJ greatness where everybody wants to see greatness. So Patrick Mahomes with those kinds of outbursts, he can't win. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I like seeing them compete in the playoffs every year. I'm not a Chiefs hater like the majority of football fans are, but I didn't like that outburst from Mahomes. I like when he's at that level, but in a more competitive way and not I'm just complaining, I'm a giant baby kind of way. That's it for me tonight. That is it for the show. I will see you on Sunday. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm forgetting something, so I'm delaying signing off because I feel like I had something to announce and to say. But oh well, that's it. That's it for me tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world if shows be listening or watching this right now, and I appreciate you. Good night from Toronto.
And that is how it's done.
The Jesse Blake Sports Report with Jesse Blake.
Jesse Blake, the guy that likes to hear his name twice in one sentence. Sure, I know him. No, he doesn't have an ego at all.